Hello, welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle, and I'm here to do a love reading for Virgo. Wherever you have Virgo in your chart, we all have it somewhere. My sun, Venus, and Mars are all in Virgo. So, yeah, I've got a lot of that energy going on. But even if you don't have any major planets, you still have it in one of your houses. So there could be something in here for you, and that is my intention. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Da 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 da. Oh, I need to open here. Okay, so what I'm doing is a love reading during Venus retrograde. Yeah, I have a spread that I have found on Pinterest that I really have been enjoying using. And we're going to look at what's going on with you in love. Oh, and I'm going to be using the Tarot of Mystical Moments deck to begin. So first couple cards are your strengths in love and how you receive love. Nine of Pentacles, nurturing, so loving and helpful, and also very practical and understanding exactly what you need to do to get you where you want to be in life. Being very diligent, hard worker, very resourceful. And JoJo is here. Welcome. And Nine of Cups. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's funny. I was thinking this was the Nine of Pentacles. This is the King of Pentacles. And I love that about this deck is that there are two kings, female and male. So we've got the female king here. So there's a very kind of feminine energy that you are good at embodying, despite your gender. You understand how to, like I was saying, create what you want in your life and be very action oriented while also being nurturing and receptive at the same time. And with the Nine of Cups, like this is, you're very self-made, and you have developed skills over time that have allowed you to get to this place where there's so much wish fulfillment around you, where you're able to just kind of enjoy the finer things in life because of everything that you've done to create your world around you. So this is, so specifically around love, you are good at manifesting what you want. I think the thing that trips you up sometimes is not being clear enough on what you want. And so you manifest something in that you think you want, and then you get to a point where you're like, oh, this isn't quite right. And that's why things don't work out so well, or work out, or haven't worked out in the past. But you don't let past, what you might consider failures to hold you back. You continue to move forward. You continue to follow your own counsel to get you where you need to go. And you have people around you. The king pretty much never gets to where he's at by himself or herself. The king always has an entourage. This is you both being able to be very independent and also lean on people to help elevate you. This word keeps coming up for me a lot. Elevate you in life, get you where you want to go. Okay, so card 3. This is your weakness in love. Queen of Cups. I think you tend to overgive sometimes. I think that you have so much to offer, and you you're one of the most helpful signs of the zodiac. This energy of just like wanting to nurture and give and support and love, and there's so much compassion and caring, but it's to a fault. You give people way too many chances. You overlook red flags left and right. Um, you you may have a tendency to jump in and try to help people when what they really need to do is help themselves. Like looking at her holding the seahorse here. It's like rather than letting the seahorse swim around and figure things out on its own, she's like, "No, I'll just hold you here and keep you safe and figure things out for you." And yeah, that's the thing with life is everyone's got to figure it out in their own good time. And if you try and force it, um, it doesn't work out because then you come across as being controlling and like being that kind of know-it-all. Well, I think it would be best, and they're like, well, who are you to tell me what I should do, even though you may be right. People, they're not ready till they're ready. And so this has probably been a big problem for you in your relationships, is you're like, wow, like I'm just there for them all the time. Like, I'm supportive, I'm kind, I'm all these things. Why does it keep not working out? And it's like, it's a little much. You got to pull yourself back. You got to let people figure themselves out, which is not always easy, because Virgo, those of us with a lot of Virgo in our chart, we do have a tendency to understand things on another level, where we're like, well, if you just did A, B, and C, everything would be so much easier. And it's like you got to let people figure that out for themselves. You can't control people as much as you would like to. You can only control yourself. All right, so let's look at who's coming in. This is your future soulmate and a clue on who they are. Temperance, that's funny. This came up for Leo as well. The very first card of their soulmate. So maybe you're on the cusp of Leo. Maybe you are dealing with a Leo. But you're, especially with the Temperance card, it is a card of moderation, of patience, of finding balance through being very, I just had the word and it left me. Knowing when to act and when to hang back and assess the situation. And this is a skill. This is a strength that you also possess. That's how you have gotten to this place of being so having all this wish fulfillment in your life, being very stable and solid financially. You've got your friends and your house. You've got this great quality of life. This person is mirroring this back to you. This is someone who shares a similar ideal to you, where it's like, let's not be impulsive. Let's not rush into things. Let's take things step by step and figure out what to do as we go. Yeah, let's pick another one. Queen of Pentacles. This is your divine counterpart. You two you're like two peas in a pod. You two, it's like you were made to be with one another. You both have this understanding of what it means to be stable, but also nurturing, also um, resourceful, also abundant. Probably you two are going to be like, that power couple. You know how to manifest things into the world, into the physical world, where you're just like, you take the idea and you turn it into a reality one way or another. And nicely, this person is also as pretty much as nurturing as you are. You can't overdo it with this person, is kind of what I'm getting. This has been a weakness for you, but also maybe through what you've been through in the past, you are understanding how to hold yourself back just a little bit. Give people the space, give your person the space to figure themselves out. And it's just enough that it draws this person in. And then suddenly you're getting that same energy right back to you. Maybe in the past it hasn't always been reciprocated. Practical, but safely passionate as well. Yeah, I like that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because the Queen of Pentacles, um, you know, understands safely. I like that. Safely passionate. Taking your time, allowing things to build. That slow burn. And that was the thing with Leo, is that in the reading it was much more about Leo being very impulsive and needing to rein that back. And I feel like with you, um, it's much more of allowing a give and take, allowing yourself to be nurtured as much as you nurture, which is beautiful. Yeah, we all need to cultivate a little more patience, don't we? Flex that patience muscle. Okay, so what is holding you back in love? What is currently holding you back? And that's why I love this. I've forgotten to say it in a couple of readings, but with Venus in retrograde right now, this is a period of time where we are we are going within. We are stepping back and looking at our patterns and how we show up in love, in life. And it's not just love. I mean, Venus, it also rules finances and other things that I'm not thinking of in the moment. But it's um, this is a time right now for all of us to look at where we've been, where we're at, and where we want to go. And it's not a time of action; it's a time of introspection. It's funny, the word retrospection came to mind. Always coming up with new words. All right. So, yeah, let's look at what's holding you back in love. Five of Swords. You've been hurt. You've had people take parts of you, take your heart, and and not. You've dealt with people who have taken more than their share, who are like, "Oh, you want to give to me and nurture me? Okay, I'll take it, sure." And you just give and you give and you give. And then, like you're losing parts of you. You lose parts of yourself in other people. It's very, very important for you to maintain your autonomy, your sovereignty, that no matter how awesome a connection is, you still need to come back to you and not compromise yourself for someone else. which is different than compromising together in the relationship. But I think this is speaking to you compromising what you know is right for you, what actually brings you the fulfillment that you not only desire but that you deserve. Mm, my wiggle. Yeah, you deserve you deserve reciprocation in love, in your connection, not someone who's just going to take and take and take. And I think you may be a little bit gun shy at this point because you have continually come across people like this who take more than their share and don't give back. And so there may be a little bit of a feeling like, well, this is just how it always is. So maybe I shouldn't even try because it's going to just end up the same as always. And that's just not true. Basically, this whole, the things that you dealt with in your life have helped you to see, have helped you to learn what is good for you and what's not. And when you start to see yourself leaning in a direction like you have in the past, it's, the cards are basically saying, like, pull yourself back. Are there red flags? Maybe retract some of your energy. Maybe just hold off and wait and see. Um, there's no need to rush into anything. And when this person comes along, they may be in a similar energy where they're just like, God, I've been through it. Let's just take some time and get to know one another. And it helps you to, again, that slow burn, that gradually getting to know one another, coming to that understanding after a period of time where it's like, oh, you are still giving back. Like, we're still kind of equally giving to each other. This isn't like it was before. That's what gives you that indication of, like, okay, yeah, maybe we can take this to the next level. All right, so let me pull out the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Beauty. This is all about, I think, where you're at right now is you're learning to focus. You're learning to recognize your unique beauty, that you have so much to give that's like no one else. And there's somebody who is going to recognize this beauty, is going to reflect this beauty back to you. I love that her nose is the butterfly. There's butterflies all over. That always speaks to me of transformation. That you feel like, there's a little bit of a glow up here. Sorry if you hate that term. I think it's pretty cool, actually. Where you're appreciating yourself for exactly who you are. You're recognizing how awesome you are. And it's creating more and more self-love within you. And that, whatever is outside of us is reflecting what's inside of us. The more you can see yourself this way, feel this way inside, the more that's going to be reflected to you in the outer world. Someone's going to show up who's going to reflect this beauty back to you, because you'll be like, wow, you're saying this to them. You're amazing. Wow. And they're like, well, look in the mirror. You both, I think, are going to be very, like, taken with each other. action. I love this card. I love it because it's so dynamic. There's so much energy here. Taking action creates magic in your life. Stagnancy and inertia that keep you from going where you want to go. Taking action, it doesn't have to be big action. I've often said it's all about the consistent baby steps. Just little bites. And that allows the momentum to build. Then you start to feel the inspiration. Then you're like, yes, what's next? What's next? What's next? Taking action because it feels good, because you love it, because it's what you were made for. Discernment. This is taking back your personal power. Discerning what's good for you and what's not. Who's good for you and who's not. This is I feel like this is an energy of kind of connecting your heart with your personal power and standing very firmly in that. She's not able to see. The clouds are in the way, but she can feel. She's got the warmth and that energy. You may not always be able to tell on the surface who you're dealing with, but you can feel it. And this is why temperance is so important. This is why taking your time is so important. Because eventually the clouds do part or dissipate, and then you can see. And it's like, and that seeing lines up with what you knew in the first place. This is putting yourself first and not being willing to compromise on certain things that are very, very important to you. And maybe you've done that in the past. Self-love. Didn't I say that? I love that. Oops. All my cards falling here. Beauty and self-love. Yep. Yeah. I love this. You're falling in love with yourself, and the world can't help but fall in love with you when you embody that energy. And this is what draws the attention from your person, because you're just like, you know what? Man, I'm pretty freaking awesome, aren't I? Yeah. If you love how you're showing up. You love that you have your own back. You love that you're stepping in to your personal power and you're creating these very healthy boundaries. And it just you feel really good in your skin. And it's just the momentum is going to build. Continue to build. Okay, so I think I want to do a chakra card for you. Thanks, Jojo. That is very sweet. All right. Chakra card. Throat chakra, freedom. I release all tears, sadness, and the attachment to closing up and playing small in order to allow my throat to open fully. I open my throat and allow myself to breathe, sing, laugh, and cry. My voice is an instrument through which I heal myself and others. I heal. Wow. That's beautiful. This is learning how to speak your truth. This is a part of your boundary setting and the self-love. You're allowing yourself to just be, breathe, sing, laugh, and cry. Whatever is there, whatever is coming up for you, you're recognizing it as a part of your greatness, a part of who you are that's like nobody else. And then you're able to heal you. You're going through a major healing here. And and you're helping others as well. Either, just through by example, where you're just like, wow, here I am doing my thing, and people are like, wow, that's very inspiring. Or maybe you show up, maybe you become some kind of counselor, some kind of way shower, somehow you start showing up for people who are really looking for assistance, and you're like, hey, I've learned some things, let me help. No matter what, you're not playing small anymore. You are embodying your most glorious self. The wiggle there. It's amazing. It's awesome. And you are going to have that reflected back to you way more than you even expect or knew was possible. So that's really cool. All right, I'm going to leave the reading there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.